Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Door to Deceit. I'm your host Ash, and I'm happy you're here. Y'all already know I'm so thankful for the support, and I really hope you enjoy this episode. Now, our story this week is not too complicated, it's not too long, but it definitely still struck a nerve with me, so let's get into it. Our story begins in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with Angela Mayo, a woman who, I will tell you off rip, okay, she's mentally unstable. Now, when she was younger, she was raped and assaulted, and she was on medication for her PTSD due to that incident. Now, she was said to be a quiet woman who stayed to herself. She minded her business. She ate her lunch alone, shit like that. Now, unfortunately, that did not work for Miss Shanina Smith. Okay, she was Angela's co-worker at Lear Corporation. The ladies worked there on the assembly line where they made car seats for the Benz dealership that was nearby. And for 8 months, Shanina allegedly made Angela's life a living hell every single day that they worked together. She apparently teased her and ridiculed her for her work speed in front of the other workers, and she was allegedly consistently mean and nasty towards Miss Angela. Now, if you're like me, you may be wondering, why didn't Angela report Shanina's behavior? And apparently she wasn't even the only one who bullied Angela. So she would have had even more grounds to go to management or to HR and make a request to get a shift change or ask for the bullies to be reprimanded, literally whatever. Now, I did a little research of my own, and reviews for Lear Corp on websites like Glassdoor tell a pretty interesting tale. Allegedly, management is incompetent, mean, irresponsible, and unresponsive when it comes down to their employees. I even saw that they had a couple of lawsuits for some racist type shit. It was a lot going on. But honestly, I can only imagine how far up that kind of corruption goes and how far it spreads. And honestly, it just further isolates employees that have grievances when you don't have management that you can go to. Now, I'm not saying that Lear Corp is responsible. Clearly not, baby. I'm not trying to get fucking sued. But I am saying, put people in positions where they can do their damn job. And I mean, this is not just a Lear Corp issue. According to my research, 48.6 million Americans have experienced workplace bullying. Get into that. Almost 50 million adults have experienced other adults bullying them at their place of employment. This is why I like working from home, baby, because I'm going to mute that group chat that they usually put us in, and I'm going to do my job because that's what I'm getting paid to do. I personally am not someone who comes to work to socialize, baby. That's why I have friends. Okay. I'm here to get my check. That's it. And that's all. I genuinely could not imagine being forced to deal with someone thinking they're going to bully me when I just came here to do my job. Now, obviously, I'm stable enough, to where I'm not going to grab my Glock or nothing. But girl, I'm going to pop my shit as professionally as I can and go through the correct channels to get my paper trail going. Because I'm not going to lie, if you persist and keep thinking you finna bully me, I am going to swing straight up. It's literally inevitable. I'ma swing on you. But when it's all said and done, I don't want anybody thinking I popped on you for nothing. Cause baby, I'm a Virgo. I'm gonna have my receipts. So let's get that paper trail going. But for real, I really could not imagine being forced to deal with bullying until I can find another job or I can get moved to another department or whatever. Because being real, bullying is kind of hard to prove unless you have witnesses who are willing to speak out or a camera or something recording what happens. I don't know. And even then, that shit can get twisted around, so it's not really used to benefit your claims. So I don't know. Because I know there's somebody out there thinking, well, girl, why not just quit? Just find a new job. Baby, have you seen the job market? It's hard out here and you cannot make anybody hire you. And as an adult, you have bills to pay. You got kids to take care of. You got, rent, etc., etc. Girl, it's a whole thing. Oh, child. Fix it, Jesus. But anyways, back to the case, okay? Shanina was at work one day and she allegedly brushed past Angela. How people kind of bump shoulders with you or whatever. And baby, that was apparently the straw that broke the camel's back for Angela. On August 4th, 2019, Shanina finished up a show with her mom and headed out for work. Her mom told her to take care, and those were the last words she would ever say to her daughter. Meanwhile, earlier that day, Angela had purchased ammo for her gun, and days prior to that, she'd gone to the gun range to work on her aim. Clear premeditation. And this right here, this brings up a topic of gun reform and a need for mental history and mental health checks before allowing someone to purchase a weapon. Like, I'm sorry, this can end lives. It could even end their own life. And you know what? I'm getting riled up. I could get into a whole thing about how Republican states, they be yelling about pro-life, until a gun gets fucking involved. And then anyways, that's not what this pod is about. It's not what this is about. And my head is starting to hurt even thinking about politics. So baby, I digress. Back to the case. So that same night, while Shanina was working on the assembly line, Angela walked in and opened fire on her in front of 6 other employees. She shot Shanina 3 times in the face and then emptied the clip into her downed body. Clear-cut overkill. Angela took off from the assembly plant, but later turned herself into the police, where she was charged with 1 count of murder and was held on a $150,000 bond, which in my opinion, after you gun somebody down in the public like that, I feel like it should maybe be a little higher, but period. Shanina, a mother of 1, died on the scene. It was only a few days before her son's 4th birthday. A year later, Angela was sent to a mental hospital until she was deemed fit to stand trial. Now, her lawyers tried to use her PTSD as an excuse and asked the judge for a 20-year sentence, which would make her 50 by the time she got out of jail, still very much capable of committing further violence. But luckily, the judge saw through all of that and gave her 50 years instead. Now, Shanina's mom, her name's Regina, and she ended up suing Lear Corp in a wrongful death suit for $10 million. In the suit, she claims that Angela had a history of harassing and threatening her daughter, and that Lear Corp knew about it, but they didn't do anything. The suit was filed in 2021, and yet it still is not settled, at least not publicly. Now, after this happened, everything, the shooting and stuff, Lear Corp did hire around-the-clock security and counseling and stuff for the ones that ended up seeing the murder. But girl, in my opinion, they're probably going to end up winning that lawsuit, and it's no shade, because if y'all ended up hiring the security after the fact and it's actually documented that, the abuse was the other way around, yeah, come up out them pockets, baby. But allegedly, girl, don't sue me. Now, as far as Shanina's family, they completely maintain her innocence in terms of the bullying accusations. They uphold her as a nurturing and loving mother, fiance, and daughter. And honestly, as they should. The truth of the matter is, those are the things that they saw from her. Could she have been a bitchy, nasty, and mean person at work? Sure. Could she have just been a victim of the delusions of an unstable woman? Sure. I'm not refuting anything because there's no proof that we can see on either side. It's a lot of he said, she said. Now, one thing is for certain though, Shanina's son, her fiance, her mother, really her entire family in general, they all lost her in a senseless way over what was essentially some bullshit. Even with the alleged bullying, she wasn't putting her hands on Angela, so Angela should have kept that same energy, in my opinion. For her to grab a weapon and kill this woman, bully or not, is crazy. Because if you were going to retaliate, just beat her ass. Just like you went to practice and you worked on your aim. You could have took a couple of kickboxing classes, girl, showed up to work, whooped her ass, and took your ass home. Now, would you have still gotten in trouble? Absolutely. More than likely, girl, you still would have got a little something. But clearly that was not an issue for you, Miss Angela, since you decided that murder was a viable option. I hate a senseless killing. And like I said prior to this, I do feel like most killings, if not all, are senseless. But this was really some dumbass shit. I don't know, man. It just sucks. But y'all be careful, be kind, and stay vigilant. All right, I'm out of here. I want to thank y'all for listening, and I hope you're leaving having learned some lessons. And if not, go back and listen again, babes. I'll see y'all next time. And hey, do not forget to lock that door behind me. You never know what could come crawling in.